I quit drinking.
So I quit drinking, and this time it's for good. It's been about 30 days now, and I'm sticking with my decision, and there's no turning back. And the reason why I did this was for myself. I've done it before, and I've done it for a year and a half, also for myself, but before I'd done it for health reasons. I was going through a surgery. I went through radiosurgery, which is radiation. I had radiation on my brain for a tangle of blood vessels in my head, which is called an AVM. And the reason why I had to stop drinking was because the radiation was going to shrink the arteries and veins inside my head until they closed shut. And with that being said, drinking, as we know, or if you do not know, it thins your blood and it increases your blood pressure. So when I was going through this treatment, the doctors advised me not to drink, and I took that into consideration and I didn't drink. I was 24 years old at the time, so that was like time in your life where it's like drinking is everything. You're hanging out with your friends, you're going to drink, to socialize, and just have a good time and living it up in your 20s. And when I found out about my health scare, of course that was my main priority. So when I was hanging out with my friends and stuff, and they were all like, why aren't you drinking? And the reason why I wasn't drinking was for my health. And I told them that, and they were all understanding of that, of course, because come on, I was having a surgery on my brain. So it's like, that's a serious excuse to not drink. But this time my excuse is just, I don't want to do it no more, and I just want to see how I feel as a person without drinking. And there's many reasons that I came to this decision and why I'm going to stick with it, and I'm going to give you all the reasons right now. And one of the main reasons that happened to me recently, because I quit drinking about 30 days ago, was I was in a low state. I was in a really low state, and us as humans, we all go through this. We all go through our highs and lows where we're feeling good and then we're feeling down. Sometimes our low state can last for a while. And as we know, alcohol is a downer. So, you would go out with your friends. I recently noticed I was going out with my friends and drinking, and just kind of like drinking to, hide what I'm feeling inside. And the next day I would wake up not only hungover, but also just like in an even lower state of mind. And I noticed this pattern for a few weeks, and it just made me realize that I want to stop. And just, I'm 30 years old now. Like, my 20s are gone, and that's fine. I had a great time in them. I had a year and a half where I wasn't drinking, but other than that, like, I was still doing pretty good without drinking. I was still hanging out with my friends and going out while they were drinking. And that's what I'm going to do now. Like, I know it's like the social thing to drink, and you kind of, when you first start doing it, you feel like an outcast because, everybody around you is, drinking, and you see them going from, being in a normal state to being buzzed or even drunk. And you see that as alcohol affects them, and we all know how that is. And sometimes we use alcohol to put ourselves out there and be a little bit more sociable. And I'm not making this video to be like, stop drinking, because of course I'm explaining that I still hang out with my friends who drink, and there's nothing wrong with it if it's for you. Like, we all have the things that we like, the sports that we like, the music that we like, and just, the things that we like in general. I just made this decision, and I'm making this video in case somebody else out there is thinking about taking the plunge of trying it, but always finds themselves going back to drinking again. One of the main reasons was because I was in a low state, and I found myself to be in a lower state when I drank, so I cut it out. And then, of course, another reason why I'm cutting it out now is because of health benefits. We all know there's health benefits to not drinking. And one of them, which I explained already, is drinking increases your blood pressure because it thins your blood. And of course it puts damage on your liver. We all know that. Some people go through liver failure from excessive drinking because, think about it, you're taking alcohol, which is a toxin to your body, and your liver is trying to take that toxin out of your body. And over time, with too much of it, it could cause your liver to overwork itself and cause failure. So, health benefits is another reason why I'm sticking away from drinking for good. And I'm saying for good. I'm not saying I'm trying to quit. And that's something that I think I learned from a book, actually. I learned from a book about habits. The book is called Atomic Habits. It's actually this book. I'm sure some people seen it around, but it's a book about teaching about habits and building good habits, and getting rid of bad habits too. And one thing is, like, if you want to quit something, say you quit. Like, if you say you're trying to quit, it's still giving you that thought in your mind that there's still a chance that you might do it again. But if you find yourself just constantly saying, like, when someone introduces you or tries to convince you to maybe smoke or drink, or just, good old things of peer pressure. Yeah, if some people are trying to, peer pressure you into drinking or smoking, especially at being at this age. I mean, when you're older, you realize that, like, it's you who makes the decisions, and for your own decision. Yeah, if people are peer pressuring you to do things, just say you quit. And don't say I'm trying to quit. Say you quit. Because then eventually it's going to sink into them to stop telling you to try to do it. Being in your 20s is probably going to be a little bit more difficult to do this, especially if you're going out and hanging with your friends, but just stick to it. Just stick to it. Like, the only thing that matters is what you want to do with yourself and with your life. We're thinking about what other people are going to think about us, but in reality, they're worried about people thinking things about them. Like, if you want to stop drinking and let people know. And you won't regret it. And if you do want to continue to drink later on and you had a little break, well, maybe that break might open your eyes to something different. And it's always good to take breaks from things. And the other reason why I quit drinking is because I have some friends who quit drinking, and they inspired me, and they told me stories about why they quit drinking. And some of them were because, when you're drunk, you make poor decisions. When you're impaired, like, I mean, I don't even have to say it. Everybody knows, like, if you drank before and you got drunk, you made some decisions that you wake up the next day, you're like, man, I can't believe I actually did that. And yeah, sometimes you correct the mistakes, or sometimes you just like, all right, well, I'm going to fix it and it's not going to happen again. But then something similar to that happens again. I really appreciated, them sharing their stories and them sharing their opinion. Yeah, sharing their opinion on why they chose to take the sober route. We spend so much money on drinking, and sometimes we get drunk and we see our credit card statement the next day and it's like, man, I spent all this money. And sometimes we're like buying drinks for people, like, left and right. Sometimes you're buying it for your friends, which is fine. You buy your friends and they buy you drinks back. And sometimes you find yourself buying drinks for random people for no reason. And why? Drinks are like $10 a piece, and every person that you're buying a drink for, it's like you're just wasting more money. For what? Just racking up a bill, coming home and seeing you spend hundreds of dollars on alcohol, which, a lot of people have done. It's like, kind of the next day you feel like, man, I wasted that. I could have bought clothes or something like that. I just want to make this video to give some sort of insight of why I quit drinking, and why I'm going to do it for good. And I'm not going to pretend like I did it already for a year, but I really stopped drinking about 30 days ago. I'm not going to drink again. I've done this before, so I know what it's like. That's it. Like, I'm not going back. And, my birthday's coming up in a couple days, and I'm not going to drink for it. But am I going to let my friends drink around me and hang out with them? You're damn right I am, because they're entitled to do whatever they want to do with their life. And I totally support people who want to do the things that they want to do. Don't, like, when you quit doing something, don't ever belittle somebody for things that they do that you don't do. Don't look at people differently, because everybody is going through their own life and has their own enjoyments. And, like, yeah, don't ever belittle somebody. Be somebody's friend. Like, on my birthday, when I hang out with them, I'm going to just have fun, just have fun. I could be fun while I'm sober too. And, it might take a little getting comfortable doing it again, which I've been doing for the you know, the past 30 days I went out a few times and I didn't have alcohol. I just had water and, you know, a club soda. Have a club soda with no alcohol and just, you know, have it in a small glass and it looks like you're drinking, but that doesn't matter. Like, you could go out, you could have a good time, you could socialize and do things without drinking. Be a good person. Be a good person no matter what. Like, that's what matters more. Alright guys, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts and experience about why I quit drinking alcohol, since it has this stigma around it. It's the one drug that has a stigma around it, where it's like socially acceptable and like you look like an outcast if you don't do it. And it's very hard to break the barrier and quit. And I know it because I've done it before and I'm doing it again. And I know how hard it is to go out with your friends and not drink. The first, you know, couple days to months, it's going to be very hard, but you'll get used to it. And if you're contemplating on stopping drinking alcohol, just do it. You could do it. Like, don't give in. Just speak it into existence. Over time, it'll get easier and easier, and then, you know, you'll stop having those people ask you, and they'll accept you for who you are. Because if they accept you who you are, they're your true friends, and that's great. They totally support you and whatever you want to do. And yeah, I know how hard it is, but you can do it and just keep it up. If you're going to quit drinking, or if you have quit drinking, give this video a like, just to show how many people are out there who made the plunge to quit drinking. And till next time, you already know the deal. Have a great day, have a great night, great weekend, and great life. Till next time, peace.